red carded last night, wasn't it, Rodri? I don't know
That's
if you
right. Yeah,
heard it. Yeah, so I didn't watch the match,
I
but
didn't watch it, but I didn't see it,
uh,
but I knew he'd gone. Yeah.
yeah, but I saw the highlight. So here's the start. So here's the start. It says Manchester City won 8 games in a row before Rodri returned from injury. All right. Okay, so they drew 3 games in a row since he returned, lost to Manchester United, and now lost to Bodo
Hello.
Glimt. Um,
Weird,
yeah,
isn't
so
it?
so the game they did win was against Newcastle, which is an away game, when Rodri was benched. So when Rodri was benched, they won a game. Um, it all sounds like a conspiracy theory, don't it? But what do you make of that?
Well, what the first thing that comes to mind with that was that last season, I don't think he played at all last season, did he? He was out the whole season with a bad
Yeah,
injury.
yeah,
And I can remember we certainly on here we talked about it, and it was the sort of the mantra almost of Match of the Day and other things, other pundits, where well of course they'd gone through a bad stage and they did go through a bad spell last season. They weren't the City we knew, and a lot of that was put down to the absence of Rodri.
it
Oh,
did.
we haven't got him, and this had happened, and something else had happened. But the main thrust of it, and the statistics I remember that were put up often on the TV programs, were they showed the last, the previous season, the last number of games with Rodri playing, virtually all of them victories, and then since he's been gone, a lot of draws or defeats. So it kind of pointed to this loss of his experience. And I guess, like
Mm,
every club, they would have had one or two other injuries to key players as well. But they, yeah, I mean, John Stones, I think, was quite injury prone at one stage, and Ake played sometimes and not other times, and so on and so forth. But I remember that key point that people said, "Oh, well, because Roger is not there." That clearly, with the statistics, is why they're well. What you've just said with the stats you mentioned there, the complete opposite is true. That
yes.
and we can't really say that because he's playing, they're losing. I mean, I've watched him in a couple of games recently. I watched the Man United, Man City game, and really, I mean, it's worth another talk about that. Manchester United were a different team, and although when another manager, albeit a caretaker manager like Carrick, comes along, there's going to be a bump. There's going to be, especially as he's one of the clubs. I mean, a lot of the players weren't there when he was, but he's obviously got a lot of Manchester United in his blood, in his DNA, really. And so in that sense, a lot of players probably have to be take some responsibility for what was happening under Anurim. Not completely, because I think a lot of them didn't like how he started the games, the shape of the team, and it was all a bit alien to how Manchester United often have played. But I still think Anurim is a good coach, and if I had anything to do with it, I would take him when Glasner goes at Palace. I would. I think he's got a lot to give Anurim. But be that as it may, but Manchester United were just a different team on
Mm,
Saturday, if it was Saturday,
mm.
and they played brilliantly well. Let's hope they continue that. But Manchester City, yeah, they. I mean, Haaland was substituted in the second half, and I got the impression when he went off, he looked a bit peeved, as he would do, I suppose, with that. But he didn't really. I think he had one good effort running at the goalkeeper, but normally he will score a goal. So yeah, I don't quite know what's happening. Do you know how many goals he scored this season? Do you have that stat? Because I don't. You only won in the last 8 games, but do you know where he is on the goal scoring list at all? Do you know where he is on the goal scoring list at all? Because he has
Um,
scored goals this year, hasn't he?
are we talking about what's his name? Uh,
Haaland.
Haaland. Haaland. Oh yeah, I don't have that statistics to
No,
hand
don't
here.
worry, but it's not
Yeah.
like he's only got 1 or 2 goals this season. I think
No.
he has scored a few goals still. But yeah, I mean, you say what's happened to him. Well,
Hmm.
what was his contract? Was it 5 years or 7 or 9 years? I can't remember now. But he's on about £500 a week for this long, long contract. Do you remember they signed him up to that? Was it last season? And of course, he's going to have downtimes, but any club actually signing a player, however great he is, and Haaland is a great goal scorer, for a long, long period is chancing your arm a little bit because almost inevitably with age as you get older and with the vagaries of the Premier League, the physical challenge that it takes out of people, you get especially a player like him, he probably gets bits kicked out of him every week because he's such a great goal scorer and he runs
Hmm.
at people. So it's a chance their arm, if that is what they're doing, committing to that kind of salary. I mean, what's that? That's about £25 million a year, probably tax paid as well. The truth be told, I don't know, but it often is. So yeah, he's a great player, and I think he will always score goals. But I do sense a bit of slippage to lose that game last night. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see it, but I don't know whether they had a number of non-first team regulars playing. Perhaps he felt it was a team he didn't know, this Norwegian team, so he can afford to do that, which
Hmm.
is really what Glasner did to a lesser extent against Macclesfield in the FA Cup. But yeah, I don't understand it. I was really shocked to see 3-1 loss, even though it was in Norway, to a team I actually have never heard of, and I do pride myself. I do think I know most significant teams, even not significant teams around the leagues. I suppose the Norwegian league isn't one of the top leagues, of course, but no, I don't know that club. And for them to be, I mean, they must have been deliriously happy after that
Wow.
result. Three
Oh, they were.
one, and they were 3-0 up as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Man City is going to be interesting to see them now. What happens now? Just whether they really get back to what they can be. I still have a feeling that Guardiola will go at the end of the season. I'm not sure when his contract goes to, but I think, irrespective of that, I think he'll have had enough by the end of this season. That's my prediction, for what it's
Yeah.
worth.
Well, yeah, there were hints to that actually online.
Well,